In 3.17.3, CIG introduced the Greycat Sports Terrain Vehicle, also known as the STV, or personally the Steve. During the lead up to this patch, there were several leaks that mentioned the reduction of the speed and thus effectiveness of most of the other ground vehicles. Would CIG really nerf everything else just to sell a new ground vehicle? I had to know. Hello folks, Space Tech here. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the new STV vehicle and comparing it against other ground vehicles within a racing context, since that's what CIG claims it's supposed to be good at. First, let's take a look at the new vehicle. The STV from Greycat is clearly made with the same design language as the PTV. A quick look around the vehicle shows the space in the back to store two 0.25 SCU boxes that you would get from delivery missions. There's also some external storage to use to store extra bits of armor or ammo. You also get space around this area to store a large weapon like a sniper or an LMG. As to which sniper or LMG to fit here, I'll have linked 2 videos beneath the like button that dive into all of the LMGs and snipers to help you decide. Around the front of the STV, you'll find the buttons to open up the 2 compartments that house the components of the STV. This points to repairability coming in the future, and maybe even customization of these components beyond the usual coolers and power plants that don't do anything for now. As for transporting it, once it's spawned at any of the ground vehicle pads, it can be fit into almost any ship that can fit a Cyclone. This includes all the common ships that transport small vehicles such as the Cutlass, Freelancer, and more. Oftentimes you can even fit 2 of them quite comfortably. Now, let's jump into the statistics of the STV. The STV has a top speed of 40, with an acceleration of 6 and a deceleration of 3. Let's see how this stacks up against the competition. I'll be comparing it to the Cyclone RC, the ROC, and the Ballista, the fastest of the Atlas platform. On paper, the STV with its top speed of 40 tops the charts compared to the 35 of the Cyclone RC and the ROC, and the 27 of the Ballista. This is what had originally whipped the Star Citizen community into a frenzy. If top speed was all that important, I can understand being worried, but a quick look at the acceleration of these vehicles should put that concern to rest. The STV has an acceleration of 6. The Cyclone RC comes in at a whopping 16. The ROC has an acceleration of 10, and finally the Ballista has 7. This translated to the Cyclone RC absolutely obliterating the STV in most race conditions. This is a chart demonstrating how long the RC stays faster than the other 2 vehicles. As you can see, it's not even close. It would take almost 6 seconds for the STV to reach the same speed, and even longer for it to actually catch up. Keep in mind that all of these values are without the boost ability available to you on the Cyclone RC, which takes your top speed and acceleration to ludicrous levels. Of course, given a perfectly flat plane and a very long and straight road, the STV would eventually win out, but no current races look anything like this, and I think we're unlikely to get such a drag race anytime soon. Most races are filled with bumps and even rocks, both of which require re-acceleration after slowing down. Speaking of slowing down, here are the deceleration values of the vehicles, or how quickly they come to a stop. The Cyclone RC is once again on top of the chart with a crazy deceleration of 30, followed by the ROC with 10 and the STV with 3. Finally, the Ballista has a deceleration of 1. While it may not be immediately obvious, after winning quite a few races around the Snake Pit, I have come to really value deceleration as a tool to get around corners and rocks quicker. The Cyclone RC also seems to have much better grip on uneven surfaces, like that of the Snake Pit. Talking about rocks, a common pitfall for any racer is running into one or hitting a wall at a bad angle and exploding right there on the spot. So here's a quick look at the HP values for these vehicles. The STV has an HP pool of 5,700, the ROC has 9,410, the Cyclone RC has 5,401, and finally the Ballista has a crazy 33,600. This means that the STV and the Cyclone RC end up with very similar HP pools, but due to the difference in speeds that you're likely to collide at, I've anecdotally experienced greater durability with the STV. Taking in all that evidence, when it comes down to racing, I think the STV takes a solid second place behind the Cyclone RC, which holds its crown for now. So who is the STV for, and should you get one? The STV serves as a fun little vehicle to drive towards bunkers and loot them. A reason to use it over the Cyclone is that the STV fits in the back of a Cutlass Red, which is a very popular ship to do bunkers in due to its medbeds. The STV is currently on the pledge store for $40 if you use store credit, or $35 if you use fresh money. Generally speaking, ground vehicles have pretty terrible value compared to how much it costs to purchase them in-game. For example, the ROC and the Avenger Titan both cost $50 on the pledge store, but in-game the ROC is only 172,000 aUEC, compared to the Titan being 785,000 aUEC. So if you want the STV to actually use in-game, I would personally just wait to buy it in-game in a couple patches. That being said, the STV does currently come with LTI if you purchase it with fresh money, so you could use it as an LTI token for an upgrade later in the future. And there we have it, a complete breakdown of the STV and how it stacks up against the competition when it comes to racing. So tell me, will you be picking one up or will you wait to buy it in-game? Please do like and or subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and tell me what else you'd like to see me break down. Take care, and see you in the next one.